What is up, YouTube? Johnny B here again today with Tony. He's over here organizing some of his parts because a lot of the parts came in for the SR20 VE. But that way we can get this engine ready and prepped to go into his donor car, which is basically the same car. It's just a shell that's missing everything. So we're gonna go ahead and try to put the engine together to get it ready and get it prepped to go into the car. So I think his car will get done before mine, but mine will get done eventually, and then we can see which one of the two is the fastest. So here's all the stuff he got. He got another power steering pump because his was leaking quite a bit. New hoses, yeah. He got a spec clutch because apparently they don't make the OEM ones anymore for these engines. You used to be able to get a B15, which is like a, what is that, like a 2000?
A 2000 Sentra.
Like a 2000 Sentra SER?
The last version of the SR20.
Yeah, so it was like the best clutch that you can get for these cars. But they discontinued them this last time we went, so the guy that sells these clutches, or that used to sell the B15 clutches, recommended the spec clutch. He's saying that this is the one that lasts, because if we throw a normal exidy one in there, it just eats it, right? It just destroys it right away. It doesn't really last longer.
The springs don't last that long on mine.
Yeah, he has a lot of issues with the springs breaking, so we're hoping that with this, the issue will be solved. We're gonna be taking a short break on the engine. He was resealing the oil pan, removing some dents. But now we're gonna take off some suspension components and exhaust off the red SER. So that way we can get ready for when we bring in the black SER, which is gonna sit here. So we can swap over whatever we need to, because I think it's missing some brakes on the black one. And then it's also needing to swap over all the suspension stuff, because the suspension stuff has all the energy suspension bushings, which is all like polyurethane, right? So the other one's probably got dry rotted rubber there. So the car's gonna drive terribly. And then the other car doesn't have an exhaust, so we're just gonna reuse his current exhaust. That way we don't need to spend extra cash on it. But let's get her done, Tony.
Get her done.
So here we are picking up the black SER. Got it on the trailer, all loaded up, ready to go to the shop. I'm just gonna throw in the bumper.
One of them.
Yeah. We're gonna need a 200 SX crash bar to fit the JDM bumper. That's over there. Alright, well, it's loaded up. We just gotta put the ramps in, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so we got the suspension and brakes, brake lines, and everything swapped over from the red one to the black car. So we got the wheels swapped over. The wheels that were on the black car were XXRs, so there were some reps, but on top of that, the tires were really dry rotted, so there was no point in using them. Swapped over the exhaust, as you can see. And Tony's tires are Sprint Hearts, or his wheels are Sprint Hearts, with some new tires that he's got on there, so that's gonna be much more reliable to roll around on. So now that we have all that swapped over, his sway bars are swapped over to the back one. The front one isn't there, but I gotta put that one on. That'll probably go in once we do the engine. But I mean, suspension wise, the car's pretty much good to go with the brakes as well. So now, probably next week, he'll probably get into finishing putting his SR20 back together. We just gotta put the clutch on, put the transmission on, then we can throw it into the car and hopefully have this car running, if not next week, the week after. But his is coming to a close. And then hopefully now with this car done, we'll put it over here on the lift, then I can finally start working on mine. It's just one thing after another, but we've been getting it done. That was quite a bit of work. It took us like what, the whole day to do the whole suspension?
Yesterday and today.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of stuff to do, because all his control arms had nice bushings in them. They were like poly bushings.
Yeah.
So we didn't want any of the factory stuff, so it was all solid stuff. So we wanted to switch it all over to make sure that all the suspension was good. And then on top of that, this chassis came with K-Sport coilovers, which were an upgrade over what he had. So that should be a lot nicer over here as well. So yeah, this will be it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next week, when we'll finally be able to hopefully work on my car.
Peace out, guys.
All right, bye.